Hi, Clarity family. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're getting straight into it because the energy is loud AF. Without being messy, why can't he stop thinking about you? Yeah, that. See, this isn't about obsession, this is about imprint. We're going to get inside his mind, his emotional space, and the part of him that keeps circling back to you, even when he tries not to. Now, real quick, for a limited time through January, I'm still offering my $33 readings where you can ask any three questions about this man, this connection, a new love, your money, your career, or even spiritual life coaching. Now, if you need my guidance, I got you. The link is in the description. All right, so let's get into it. Meditate here on the three cards and pick the one that calmly draws you the most. This is card one with the turquoise crystal, card two with the carnelian crystal, and card three with the pink rhodochrosite crystal. All right, so let's get straight into it. Hi, Clarity family. Welcome to your reading and happy holidays to each and every one of you. Today, we're getting straight into it because the energy is loud AF. Without being messy, we're going to get into it. Why he can't stop thinking about you. Yeah, that. See, this isn't about obsession, this is about imprint. We're going to get inside his mind, his emotional space, and the part of him that keeps circling back to you, even when he tries not to. Okay, now, real quick, for a limited time through January, I am still offering my $33 readings where you can ask any three questions about this man, this connection, a new love, your money, your career, or even spiritual life coaching. Now, if you need my guidance, I got you. The link is in the description. All right, so let's get into it. Pile one. Honey, your energy drew you here for a reason. You're here guided to the Taioceans. And this energy is resilient, bold, and sassy. See, this card is from the Mystic Martian Oracle, and your crystal for this pile is turquoise, which tells me that your energy is protected, honest, and unforgettable. Now, listen, honey, why he can't stop thinking about you? Oh, I see exactly why. You're not loud, you're embedded. Okay, you're the kind of energy that doesn't have to chase attention because it lingers. He might act unbothered, he might stay quiet, he might even try to distance himself, but mentally, you live rent free. And the reason this works is because you didn't try. You didn't force it. You didn't overextend. You were just you. And that's what got under his skin. Okay. Now, pile one, you have six more cards to go in this pile. And each one is going to unlock a different layer of his mind. And we're going to find out what initially hooked him, right? And what he keeps replaying, what he feels but won't say, what disrupted his emotional control, and why he hasn't moved on, and what this connection activates long term. And at the end, I am going to give you your total energetic frequency, the real reason why he can't shake this connection. All right, so let's go ahead and pull your first card because this card shows what initially caught his attention the moment you became unforgettable. So let's go. What is the energy as it does relate as we pull the first card? Thank you, Spirit. You got the ring, card one. And let's go ahead and pull the energy of card two, and then we'll read both energies together. All right, you got the engineer, the ability to give creative energy a practical expression, talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. All right, girl, let's go ahead and start with the ring, and then we'll slide right here into the engineer. Okay. So, power one. Let's talk about this ring energy, because Spirit didn't bring this out casually. See, because the ring is about continuity, permanence, and mental bonding. This is not flirtation energy. This is not he forgot about you energy. This is looped thinking. See, this man doesn't just think about you, his mind returns to you. You represent something unfinished, something that felt right, something his spirit quietly clocked as important. That's why he can't stop thinking about you, because you didn't come into his life as a moment. You came in as a cycle. And here's the part people miss. The ring doesn't always mean marriage right away. It means psychological commitment. Even if he hasn't said it, even if he hasn't acted on it, even if he's trying to stay logical, honey, in his mind, you are already in the picture. Okay, now let's slide into the engineer, because Spirit was real slick pulling this right behind the ring. The engineer is the ability to give creative energy practical expression, talent for designing solutions to common dilemmas. Translation: you activate his problem-solving mind. He doesn't just think about how you look or how you made him feel. He thinks about how he could make it work with you. See, because baby, you make him think in terms of restructuring his life, adjusting routines, fixing what's broken, and becoming more capable. That's dangerous energy. That is dangerous, because men don't mentally engineer situations for women they see as temporary. You challenge him without pressure. You inspire him without demanding. And you feel like someone he could build with, not just experience. Now, why these two matter together? The ring plus the engineer tells me this. You're not stuck in his head because of drama. You're stuck in his head because you make sense. You represent emotional continuity, stability with creativity, commitment without confinement. That's why even when he tries to distract himself, his mind circles back. Okay? And honey, I'm receiving a download right now. And it says, this is what he's saying. She feels like a solution, not a complication. And that's exactly why he can't stop thinking about you. All right, Power One, let's keep going. We get ready to pull card 2, because we're now about to uncover what he replays in his mind when he's alone. Let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? Let's see what's coming through. All right. Y'all, we got This Isn't Goodbye. The card says, I don't want to walk away, but it's what's best for me and us right now. This isn't goodbye. We will be together again soon. Child. Baby girl. Look, when this card comes out, Spirit is very clear. This is not closure energy. This is temporary separation with emotional attachment still active. Okay? I don't want to walk away, but it's what's best for me and us right now. That line tells you everything. This person did not leave because the feelings were gone. They stepped back because timing, pressure, or circumstances made staying feel heavier than leaving, even if they only stepped back emotionally, right? And here's the key phrase: this isn't goodbye. We will be together again soon. Energetically, that means that the bond is still alive. The emotional cord was not cut. The story feels paused, not ended. This is someone who believes in return, not release. They think in terms of later, when things settle, when I'm more ready, when life makes sense again. See, that's why this energy pairs so strongly with the ring and the engineer. Because he didn't leave because he didn't care. He left because he felt unprepared to hold what he actually wants. Okay? And what I'm picking up from his energy is this. He's saying, I'm not done with you. I just couldn't do it the right way yet. So, no, this isn't a goodbye card. It's a see you later card wrapped in restraint, maturity, and unfinished emotion. All right, so let's keep going because the next card is going to tell us what's holding him back. And it's very specific. So let's go. All right. What is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what's coming through. Thank you, Spirit. And you got the Ten of Wands energy, but it's the Ten of Wands, and I'm saying W-A-N-D-S, y'all, in reverse. Okay. It's fire, does represent the fire zodiacs, Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries, but even more than that, I just want to say thank you, Spirit. And yes, the Ten of Wands in reverse is very specific because this is release from pressure energy. See, upright, the Ten of Wands is overwhelmed, too much responsibility, carrying burdens alone, emotional exhaustion. But reversed, this person is actively trying to put something down. And here's the key. He is not releasing you. He's releasing everything else that made loving you feel heavy. And this card says, I can't carry all of this at once anymore. So that includes obligations, expectations, stress, other people's needs, and situations that drain him. So when this card comes out right after the ring, plus the engineer, plus this isn't goodbye, it tells a very clear story. He didn't walk away because you were too much. He walked away because life was too much. And what I'm picking up from him is this. He's saying, I had to breathe. I had to reset. I couldn't hold everything at once. The Ten of Wands reversed is the beginning of regaining capacity. And that's important because you only come back for something when you feel lighter, you feel capable, you feel more in control. See, this is the energy of learning boundaries, shedding excess weight, or preparing to carry something that actually matters, which means that your energy is not being dropped. It's being waited for. All right, pile one, now let's move forward because the next card will tell us what changes once this pressure lifts. And that's where the momentum shifts. So let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? So what's coming through, Spirit? What is the energy as it does relate? And you got direction. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. See, direction comes in after the ring, which is commitment and bond, the engineer, intentional, practical planning. This isn't goodbye. Ten of Wands reversed, which is pressure lifting. So this is not confusion energy. This is reorientation. And this card says, I know where I'm going now. See, direction means clarity over overwhelm, choosing a path instead of reacting, and moving with intention, not avoidance. And this person is no longer scattered. They are recentering their life around what actually matters. And here's the key point. Direction is choosing after burdens are released. Okay, so he's saying, look, I had to step back so I could see straight. And this isn't wandering, this is course correction. He's asking, where am I investing my energy? And what kind of connection do I actually want? What aligns long term instead of draining me short term? Because I'm going to tell you something, this man was all over the place. And he still is in a way, right? But he's trying to recenter himself. So this isn't about exploring options. This is about moving towards something specific, which tells us that his focus is narrowing, not expanding, and his intention is consolidating, not drifting. His steps are becoming deliberate. So direction is the energy of, I'm getting my life in order so I can move forward properly. Not impulsively, not halfway, not from stress, but from alignment. All right, so this is the point where momentum shifts from pause to movement. Now, the next card will show us how this direction expresses outwardly and what it has to do with you. It's going to show us how it expresses through action, communication, or timing. So let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? And what does it have to do with you and why he cannot stop thinking about you? Thank you, Spirit. What is the energy as it does relate? Because you got the 7th house. This is the house of relationships. And I'm going to tell you more about this 7th house energy and how I'm going to tell you all about the 7th house, okay? And what I am picking up and why this man cannot stop thinking about you. Girl, honey, child. Thank you, Spirit. The 7th house is not casual energy. This is one-on-one bond energy, okay? This house rules committed relationships, partnership, romantic, not surface level here. See, the person, it represents the person I see myself with. Reflection, who mirrors me type of energy. I also want to point out that there are 12 houses in an astrological birth chart, and this is the 7th house, okay? But there are 12 total. If you have not had your astrological birth chart read, honey, I'm telling you, you are missing out on finding out like who you really are at your core, right? What your destiny is, your gifts, your talents, who you are meant to be with. Okay, and I offer the astrological readings on my website if you want that. All right, but anyway, let's keep going. So when the 7th house comes out in a reading titled Why He Can't Stop Thinking About You, this is the message. You are not passing through his mind as a memory. You are sitting in his mind as a partner archetype. So what I'm picking up and why this matters is this, that this man doesn't think of you in fragments. He thinks of you in context. This man doesn't think of you. The meaning is this. Look, he's thinking like how you would fit into his life and how you reflect parts of himself, how being with you would change him. The 7th house says that this isn't just attraction. This is comparison. You become the standard. Every interaction after you is measured against you. See, every connection compared to how it felt with you. That's why he can't stop thinking about you. Not because he's obsessed, but because you activated his relational awareness. Okay. And he's saying things like, she feels like someone I'd actually build with. This is also the house of mirroring. And here's the quiet truth: you showed him a version of himself that only comes alive in partnership. And that's rare. See, that's why even when he tries to move on mentally, his thoughts circle back. Because the seventh house doesn't let you forget. It doesn't let you forget what alignment feels like once you've tasted it. So when we stack the energy, the ring, which is the bond, commitment, imprint, the engineer, intentional planning, 10 of Wands reversed, pressure lifting, direction, clarity restored, seventh house partnership focus, right? This tells us that he didn't lose interest. He recalibrated. And you stayed in his mind because you occupy the space of the one I'd choose, not someone I liked. All right. Now, the next card, actually, this is your sixth and final card message. So now we're going to tap into the total energetic frequency of this connection. And honey, what I got to tell you is wild. All right. So let's do it. Thank you, Spirit. All right. So, the total energetic frequency and why he can't stop thinking about you. This connection is sitting in the energy of unfinished alignment. Not unfinished business in a messy way. It's just unfinished because it paused before it could fully land. And here's the frequency in plain language. You are not a chapter. You are a reference point. You didn't exhaust him. Life exhausted him. And you didn't confuse him. You clarified what he actually wants. So that's why his mind keeps circling back. Now, why you stay on his mind? The real reason? Because you activated 3 things at once. And most people only hit one. Number 1, you activated partnership awareness, 7th house energy. You made him think in terms of we, not just me. And number 2, you activated emotional relief, which is the 10 of Wands in reversed. It's because being with you felt lighter than what he was carrying and or is carrying now. Now, number 3 is direction plus intention. You made him want to get his life in order, not escape it. That combination is rare. See, that's why it isn't obsession energy. This is recalibration energy. He's saying, she didn't take from me. She showed me what alignment feels like. The wild part. Listen close. He doesn't think about you when he's bored. He thinks about you when he's trying to make decisions. You come up when he's asking, what kind of relationship do I want? Who actually matches me? Who feels like home and growth? That's big. That's big, honey. Now, the final truth is this. No sugarcoating. You left an imprint, not a wound. You activated readiness, not fear. You represent possibility, not pressure. And that's exactly why he can't stop thinking about you, even when he tries to move forward. Because once someone feels alignment, their soul won't accept substitutes. All right, Clarity family, that's the total energetic frequency. This connection isn't loud, it's rooted. And rooted energy, it'll always find its way back to the surface with love and truth. Hi, Clarity family. Welcome to your reading. This is Pile 2. Why he can't stop thinking about you. Let me tell you right now, the way you sit in this man's mind is not accidental. It's not obsession, it's impact. Before we go deeper, real quick, for a limited time through January, I'm offering my 3 for $33 reading, 3 questions, deep, intuitive clarity. And if you already know you want to go even deeper, video readings, audio readings, and full astrological birth chart readings are available when you're ready. The link is in the description. Now let's get into your energy. Your energy pile 2. You are working with, honey, the carnelian crystal energy and the Pleiadian energy, which is unconditional love, excitement, and laughter. Translation: you are warm without being needy, magnetic without trying, playful, but not serious, but unserious, okay? See, because you got a heart that goes deep, but you don't tolerate pressure. And that's exactly why this man is stuck. Because you don't drain him, you don't confuse him, you don't demand, you activate him. That's rare. All right, now listen. You've got 6 more cards to go in this pile. Each card is going to unlock why you linger in his thoughts, what keeps pulling him back mentally, and why this connection doesn't fade with time. And once we reach the 6th card, I'm going to break down the total energetic frequency, the part that explains everything and makes the whole story click. Let's go. We're going to go ahead and pull your first card. This card shows what hooked him immediately. The moment he realized you weren't like everyone else. So let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? What's coming through, Spirit? Card 1. You got the animal. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull card 2. And then I will channel both cards together. What is the energy as it does relate? You have slave. Surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Okay, that part right there. All right, so let's go ahead and tap into the energy of the animal as it relates to why he can't stop thinking about you. And then we will slide into the energy of the slave. Thank you, Spirit. Look, the animal energy is instinctual. This is not logic. This is not choice. This is body, nervous system, subconscious pull. So when this card shows up, it says that his attraction to you is automatic. His thoughts about you are reflexive. He doesn't think first. He feels first. See, this is the kind of energy where you pop into his mind randomly. Certain songs, smells, moments, right? They trigger you. His body reacts before his mind catches up. And he's saying, she feels familiar on a primal level. Animal energy means you bypassed his filters. You got past his defenses and you touched something untrained and honest inside him. That's why he can't logic his way out of thinking about you. Now, the slave. And again, the card says, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Now, this is where it gets deep, because this card is not about control, it's about surrender. And in this context, it means that he stopped fighting the feeling. He stopped fighting the feeling. Not acting yet, but no longer resisting internally. See, this energy says, I don't fully understand this connection, but I know it's bigger than my ego. Honey, because he is recognizing that this connection wasn't forced. It wasn't chased. It wasn't manipulated, right? It arrived. And he's saying, I didn't choose this. It chose me. So this is why he can't stop thinking about you, because a part of him knows that this wasn't random. Now, the animal plus the slave, the combined message is this. Here's the truth. When these two energies sit together, his attraction to you is instinctual. His attachment to you feels fated, not chosen. He's surrendered mentally, even if he hasn't acted physically yet. See, this is the kind of connection where the mind follows the soul. Resistance creates tension, and distance doesn't erase the pull. You didn't overpower him. You awakened something natural and then stepped back. And that's why it stayed alive. Okay? Now he's saying, she didn't trap me. She awakened me. All right? And he may not use those exact words, but that's his feeling. All right, pile 2, now that we know why this energy took root, the next card will tell us what he's doing with these feelings internally, whether he's integrating them, suppressing them, or preparing to move. Let's keep going. What is the energy as it does relate, and what is coming through? All right. What is the energy? And a card says, is it true? And a card says, I heard you were dating someone. Is it true? Please tell me it isn't. Child, you got this man's mind all over the place. This card is pure mental fixation. This is not casual curiosity. This is territorial awareness. See, when this energy comes through, it means that he is monitoring your availability consciously or subconsciously. The idea of you with someone else activates anxiety. He is emotionally invested enough to care. Okay, and he's like, she's not supposed to be gone from my orbit. This card shows fear of replacement. Not fear of losing control, fear of losing access to your energy. That's important because men don't worry about this unless you mattered. You still matter, and they haven't emotionally closed the door. Now, how this ties back to the earlier cards, let's stack the energy. All right. Because the animal, instinctual pull and primal attachment, slave, surrendered to a higher connection, stopped resisting. This card, fear of you being claimed by someone else. That combination says one thing clearly. He may not be acting yet, but he is emotionally tracking you. And the please tell me it isn't part, that's vulnerability. That's hope. That's him wishing reality would pause long enough for him to catch up. The truth is this: if you were irrelevant, this thought wouldn't exist. So why he can't stop thinking about you? Because in his mind, you are still possible, still open, still unfinished, still connected. This card doesn't show jealousy for drama. It shows unresolved attachment. He's not asking because he wants to control you. He's asking because he hasn't replaced you. All right, so let's keep moving because the next card will show us what he does with that fear. Does it push him forward, keep him silent, or create hesitation? Let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? So what's coming through? All right, what is the energy as it does relate? Okay, you got the Chariot. And I said Chariot, y'all. Chariot. Okay. Baby, baby, baby. Moving along, moving forward. Okay, the Chariot is forward motion with intention. This is not passive thinking. This is not fantasy. This is deciding energy. So when the Chariot shows up here after the animal, instinctual pull, slave, surrender to the connection. I heard you were dating someone. Please tell me it isn't true. It tells us something very clear, that his thoughts are shifting into action. And he's saying, if I don't move, I lose her. The Chariot is about regaining control, choosing a direction, no longer being pulled by fear. See, this is the moment where his internal dialogue changes from what if to what do I do now? Now, why this matters for why he can't stop thinking about you? Because you triggered urgency. Not panic, not chaos, but resolve. He's realizing waiting has consequences. Silence creates distance. Hesitation, risk replacement. The Chariot doesn't show reckless movement. It shows deliberate pursuit. And the truth is this: you activated his competitive instinct, not with another person, but with time. Now, stacking the story so far: animal, instinctual bond; slave, surrender to fate; fear of dating someone else, emotional attachment; and Chariot, decision to move forward. This is the energy of someone saying, I can't keep thinking. I have to act. And that's why you stay on his mind, because the connection has reached the point where thought alone isn't enough anymore. All right, now the next card will tell us how this movement wants to show up, right? Communication, physical approach, emotional openness, or timing. Let's keep going. What is the energy as it does relate? Let's see what's coming through. All right, what is the energy coming through? You got on the right path. That's interesting, huh? Especially right after the Chariot, right? Thank you, Spirit, because this card is confirmation energy, not confusion, not mixed signals, not second guessing. On the right path means that his soul already knows the answer, even if his mouth hasn't caught up yet, because this feels right, even if it scares me type of energy. That's what he's saying. He's saying this feels right, even if it scares me. See, this energy shows up when someone stops questioning their feelings, and resistance turns into acceptance. Alignment replaces avoidance. In the context of why he can't stop thinking about you, because you represent correctness, not excitement only, not attraction only, but alignment. Now, why this matters with the previous cards, let's stack the story clearly. Okay, let's stack it clearly. The animal, instinctual pull. He feels you in his body. Slave, surrender to divine timing. He stopped fighting it. Fear of you dating someone else. Emotional investment. Chariot, decision to move forward. On the right path. Inner confirmation. This tells us he's no longer asking if this connection matters. He's asking how to honor it correctly. And the truth is this: you didn't derail his life, you realigned it. So that's why his mind keeps returning to you, because every time he checks his inner compass, it points back to you. Now, what this says about you: you are not forcing anything. You're not chasing. You're not waiting in desperation. Your energy is calm because you're already aligned. And alignment has gravity. All right, pile 2, this energy is now ready to move from recognition into follow through. Let's pull your final card, the one that reveals where he's headed next. This is your 6th card, and right after your 6th card, we'll dive straight into the total energetic frequency of this connection. So let's go. All right, what is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what's coming through. Okay, you got the 10th house. I'm going to break down what the 10th house means. There are 12 houses in an astrological birth chart. In your birth chart, 12 houses. But let's break this down as it relates to why he can't stop thinking about you, because the 10th house showing up is significant. Okay? Listen, baby girl. Yes, again, there are 12 houses in an astrological birth chart, and the 10th house is not a soft house. This is legacy, reputation, future-oriented energy. The 10th house rules long-term direction, life structure, public decisions, who I align with moving forward, the future someone is building towards. So when the 10th house shows up in a love reading, especially love or relationship reading, especially as the final card, this is not a fling. This is not fantasy. This is not emotional nostalgia. This is future casting. And he's thinking, she fits into the life I'm trying to build. So why this is the reason he can't stop thinking about you, because you don't sit in his mind as a moment, a memory, a feeling he can compartmentalize, okay? You sit in his mind as a decision that affects his trajectory. The 10th house says, if I choose her, my life changes, and in a good way. That's heavy. That's why his thoughts linger. And it's not because he's confused, but because he's weighing significance. Now, how this ties everything together. Let's stack the entire story. The animal, instinctual pull, slave, surrender. This connection feels divinely guided. Fear of you dating someone else. Emotional investment, chariot, decision energy, readiness to move on the right path, inner confirmation. 10th house, long-term future consideration. This tells us one thing clearly. Honey, he is not thinking about you emotionally only. He is thinking about you strategically. And that's why he can't shake you. Now, here's the thing. The truth revealed. You represent stability without boredom, love without chaos, partnership that elevates his life. The 10th house is the house of what I stand on. And in his mind, you are not a distraction. You are a pillar. He's saying, she's not just someone I like. She's someone I build with. Clarity family, this connection isn't loud, it's rooted. And rooted energy doesn't fade. It waits for the right moment to rise. And that's the total energetic frequency of this connection. So with love and truth. Hi, Clarity family. Welcome to your reading. Why he can't stop thinking about you? Y'all already know how we do it over here. This is insight, depth, and no sugarcoating. And I'm about to tell you exactly what's been going on in his mind, his energy, and his spirit. Even the parts he hasn't admitted out loud yet. Now, pile 3, your energy drew you here to the pink rhodochrosite crystal and the Arcturians card. And let me tell you something right now, that this man feels safe with you. This is wisdom keeper energy. This is concern, care, and emotional protection. This is the kind of connection where he lowers his guard without even realizing he's doing it. And you don't just attract him, you disarm him. And that's exactly why he can't stop thinking about you. Now, a quick note before we dive in. For a limited time, I'm still offering 3 questions for $33. You can ask about this man, this connection, a new love, your money, career, or your future. And if you need clarity, confirmation, or spiritual life coaching, I got you. The link is always in the description. Now let's get back to your energy pile 3. Pile 3, the pink rhodochrosite is heart healing, emotional truth, and deep vulnerability. The Arcturians don't come through for surface level connections, okay? This one tells me one thing already, that he doesn't think about you lightly. You feel familiar to him, not in a boring way, in a soul recognition way. This is the type of energy where he thinks about you when he's alone, when he's quiet, when he's reflecting. Emotional safety and wisdom is here. That's what you represent, not chaos. Now, let me just tell you how this reading will flow. You've got 6 more cards to pull. With each card, we're uncovering what's occupying his mind, what he feels but doesn't say, what draws him back to you, where his concern and care come from, and what direction this connection is moving forward, right? So I'll channel each card as I bring them through. So let's do it. Let's go ahead and pull your first card and see what comes through. Thank you, Spirit. What is the energy as it does relate to card 1? And why he can't stop thinking about you. What is it? The thread. Okay, let's go ahead and pull card 2. And then we will channel both cards together. You got the monk nun, and it says selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. And the monk nun is spelled M-O-N-K-N-U-N. Let's go ahead and start with the energy of the thread, and then we'll slide into the energy of the monk nun. Thank you, Spirit. All right, so now listen closely. The thread is about an energetic bond that doesn't break. This isn't obsession. This isn't fantasy. This is continuity. No matter how busy his life gets, no matter what distractions come in, there is a quiet line of awareness that keeps pulling his mind back to you. You're not loud in his thoughts. You're constant. See, that's why he can't stop thinking about you. Now, let's slide into the monk nun energy. Because the monk nun energy is single-minded focus, devotion, restraint, and spiritual discipline. This tells me something very important about how he experiences you. You don't activate lust first energy. You don't activate that. You activate respect first energy. You activate stillness. So with you, his mind slows down. With you, he becomes more intentional. And with you, he thinks before he acts. And that's rare, because this man is not thinking about you in a scattered way. He's thinking about you in a contained, private, sacred way. The monk nun doesn't chase. The monk contemplates. Now, what this means together, the thread plus the monk, you are tied to him through quiet devotion, not chaos. He thinks about you when he's alone, when he's reflecting, when he's trying to be better, when he's choosing restraint instead of impulse. You represent a version of himself that is more aligned, grounded, disciplined. And that's exactly why he can't stop thinking about you. He says, you're not a distraction. You're a path. That's the download I'm getting. You're a path. All right, pile 3, that's the energy of card 1 and 2. Now let's go ahead and pull the energy of card 3 and see where this message is headed. What is the energy as it does relate, Spirit? All right, you got my fantasy. You're my fantasy. I have pictures and videos saved of you, and you use them for use them for inspiration. I want you. Okay, it's getting hot in here, y'all. Spicy, chili. Look. Now listen, this card doesn't come through as reckless or sexual chaos, but it does come through as mental fixation. Now this man doesn't just think about you, he imagines you. And here's the key distinction. This isn't about physical access, this is about mental replay. And let's be honest, when you stay on a man's mind, that's hotter than just an instant gratification, okay? You live in his mind as inspiration, motivation, curiosity, and possibility. You represent what could be, not what's been consumed. That's why this fantasy energy is so strong, okay? Because he revisits your energy when he's alone with his thoughts. He needs inspiration. He's escaping routine. He's imagining a different future. And yes, there is desire here, but it's contained, not reckless. This fantasy doesn't feel dirty. It feels intentional. And you are not a passing thought. You are a private reference point. Now, how this connects back to the thread plus the monk energy is that the thread keeps you mentally connected. The monk keeps his desire restrained and focused. The fantasy shows what happens inside that restraint. You're the one he thinks about but doesn't talk about. The one he imagines but protects. The one he doesn't rush because rushing would cheapen it. Now, what I'm picking up is his thoughts are this: you're not a moment, you're a possibility. All right, so let's go ahead and move into card 4 and see how this energy wants to evolve next. What is the energy as it does relate to card 4? And why does this man keep thinking about you? You have trust. And I can see why trust would come out. I do. Now listen closely, because this is not surface level trust. This isn't I trust you with my secrets type energy. This is energetic trust. He trusts how he feels around you. And for a man, that is rare. You make him feel emotionally steady, mentally clear, unpressured, unjudged, safe to be himself. That's why his mind keeps circling back to you. Because even when he's not talking to you, his nervous system remembers you, okay? Because this trust energy shows up as thinking about what you would say, imagining how you'd respond, and replaying moments where he felt calm or understood, feeling like he could exhale with you. You don't activate his chaos. You activate his regulation. So that's why this connection sits in his mind instead of fading out. Now, how this ties back to the earlier cards, the thread equals ongoing mental connection. The monk equals restraint and respect. The fantasy equals private desire and imagination. Trust equals the reason he doesn't walk away mentally. This isn't obsession, this is recognition. And I'm picking up that he says, you feel safe to me, and I don't feel that often. All right, now let's go ahead and move into card 5 and see what this trust is leading towards. All right, what is the energy as it does relate to card 5? What is the energy coming through? You got justice. Now, y'all know when justice shows up, right? Listen, this is important because justice does not show up for casual connections. It doesn't show up for confusion. It shows up when someone is mentally weighing truth, fairness, and right action. So here's what justice is saying about why he can't stop thinking about you. He is reevaluating his choices. This man is asking himself, did I handle this right? Was I fair to her? Did I miss something real? If I step back in, I need to do it correctly. Justice means he's not thinking emotionally only, he's thinking ethically, okay? You activated his integrity. So that's why this connection lingers. This card shows accountability, self-reflection, desire to make things right, the awareness of consequences. He knows that if he comes towards you, he can't come halfway. If he speaks, he has to mean it. And if he chooses you, it must be clean and honest. Now, how justice connects to the earlier cards. Well, trust made him take you seriously. And fantasy made him want you. The monk made him hold back until he's aligned. Justice makes him ask, am I ready to show up properly? Because he knows, he says, hey, she deserves honesty, and I don't want to mess this up. This is not someone forgetting you. This is someone measuring himself against you. All right, now let's move into the card 6, and then we'll tap into that total energetic frequency of this connection. Let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? Card 6. Yes, and you got the 8th house. There are 12 houses in an astrological birth chart. In everyone's birth chart, there are 12, but the 8th house came out in your reading for a reason. This is significant, and I'm going to break down everything that the 8th house represents, mainly intimacy, investments, and secrets, and all sorts of good things. But I'm going to tell you how this relates to why he can't stop thinking about you. Thank you, Spirit. Now listen closely, because this is not light energy. Like I said, there are 12 houses in an astrological birth chart, but the 8th house does not show up unless something is deeply binding. This house represents intimacy, not just sex. Not just sex. It's soul level merging, emotional and energetic investments, secrets, thoughts kept private, desire, attachment, obsession, power exchange, and transformation through another person. So let me tell you exactly why this came out for you and why he can't stop thinking about you. This man is not thinking about you on a surface level. He's thinking about how close he felt to you, how exposed he felt around you, how strongly he reacted to your presence, how much power this connection had over him. The eighth house is where people lose control, and that's the part that shook him. See, because you didn't just attract him, you penetrated his psyche. This is the kind of energy where he thinks about you in quiet moments. He replays conversations. He wonders what you're doing. He feels a pull he can't logically explain. And here's the key part. The eighth house is also the house of shared futures and long-term investments. So when he thinks about you, he's not just fantasizing. He's unconsciously asking, could I build something real with her? Why does she affect me this way? What would it mean if I let her all the way in? Now, how this ties the entire reading together is justice. He knows this connection deserves respect. Trust. He senses emotional safety with you. Fantasy. The desire is real and vivid. Monk. He's restraining himself because the stakes are high. Eighth house. He is emotionally invested whether he admits it or not. And he's saying that this isn't casual, and that's why I can't shake her. Now, the total energetic frequency of why he can't stop thinking about you, this connection hit him on 3 levels. Mental, you stay on his mind. Emotional, you changed how he feels. Energetic, you awakened something dormant. He didn't expect depth. He didn't expect intensity. He didn't expect you. And once the eighth house is activated, you don't just forget someone, you carry them. And that's the truth of this energy. Now, listen, this wasn't a passing thought. This wasn't curiosity. This wasn't a moment. You activated him on a level that doesn't switch off. So when someone enters your eighth house energy, they don't just think about you, they feel you even in silence. So that's why the connection lingers. That's why his mind circles back. That's why distance doesn't erase it. You didn't chase, you didn't force, you simply were. And that was enough. And whatever unfolds next will not be casual, because energy like this, it demands truth. And as always, this does conclude your reading, and I am sending you lots of love and clarity.